Inside this video topic, we'll discuss that how to make an API call inside Next.js application. This video concept is not conceptual, but it is important. If you are following JavaScript framework from earlier, so you must know that how to make an API call. But if you are totally new, like how to do an API call inside JavaScript framework, so this video is really very helpful. So inside this video topic, we'll consider Next.js 16th version application and see that how to make an API call. Now to proceed further, we want a setup of Next.js into our local system. So if I go back to browser, so right now I am inside a landing page of Next.js official website that is nextjs.org. Now, if you want to install this framework to your system, so basically you have to run a command. So either you can go and run this command called npx create next app at the latest, or if you go, let's click on get started installation. So you must see some commands, and that is pnpm create next app at the latest my app. My app is nothing. This is project folder name and just as a flag. So either any of this command, if you will execute, you can install the Next.js latest version. Now I'm not going to run this command because inside my system I already have a setup of Next.js 16th version. So what I will do, let's go back to VS Code. So here I have a Next.js 16 application. If I open package.json and inside this dependencies we can see 16.0.10. So by the help of this application, we will understand that how to make an API call. And one more thing, to do an API call, obviously we need some API URL. So to get the API URL, I'll use here called JSON placeholder prefig REST API. So let's open. The URL will be JSON placeholder.typicode.com. Now inside here, if I scroll, they will provide some dummy API endpoints. And here we can see forward slash posts, forward slash comments, forward slash albums, photos, to dos, and users. So we can use any of the API endpoint to do and learn that how to make an API call from Next.js application. So for example, if I go with this post, simply click on this endpoint, and now you can see that if I hit this URL called JSON placeholder.typicode.com forward slash post by using get request type, it will fetch all these data. And inside this data, we can see this is returning an array of objects, and each object is containing user ID title, and body. So what we can do, or if I go back, click on users, now inside each user object, we can see it is returning the information called ID, name, username, email, and much more information. So instead of using post, let's use this users. Now the question is how to make an API call from application. So this is our API. We need to call that. Let's go back to VS Code. So if I open the landing page of this application, so landing page will be executed from pages and index.js file. And to run this setup, I have run a command called npm run dev. Now if I close that, so if I run npm run dev, and now we can see it is running at localhost 3000 port. So if I press Ctrl, click into this link, and now we can see actually, for the time being, I have updated my index.js. So for that, you will see this tabular format. Otherwise, it will provide you a default landing page of Next.js application. So don't worry at all about this layout or the tabular data. So here, inside these components, and one more thing, this components folder you will not get after installation of the default setup. I have created this components folder at project root. So what you can do, you need to create a folder called components at project root first, and then after into that components folder, let's create a file, and I will say users data.jsx, and here let's create the basic skeleton of a component. So export default. function, let's say users data, and from here, let's say return within h2 tag, let's say users data. Now go to index.js file, and for the time being, and let's go and comment this line of code, this as well, and we are not going to use this their table layout. Instead, I want to use this user data. So first I have to import. So import users data, and then after it is coming from components folder. So I will simply go here and let's call that. Now if I save these changes, let's go back to browser. And here we have some error, that is hydration failed because the server rendered HTML didn't match the client. So what we can do here, first inside this file, let's say use client. Now simply this component now became a client side component. Now to load that here, we need to first import dynamic from next dynamic, and then after here, let's copy this user data I will put here, and I will import, let's say, this users data from this components folder. And you have to only do add a second object, like a second value inside this dynamic function, and add ssr equals to false. SSR stands for server side rendering. So in this case, we want that this component to render only on client side. So that's why this is use client, like this is a client component. And here SSR equals to false because we want to render that component, like this component, only on the client. So if I save these changes, now as we can see, error has been resolved. Now after resolving that error, let's go and do some formatting. Now let's go inside this users data, like inside this users data component. And here, first, I'll create some state variable, that is to track the status like the load and then the API data. So here, let's say const, I will say loader, let's say set loader, the state manager. This is a state variable and this is the manager of this variable. And here I'll use a hook called use state, and initially let's say equals to true. So if I copy this loader and here let's say if loader, it means if it is true. So in that case, let's say s3 tag, and I will say, let's say data loading. Now if I save these changes, if I go here, we try to return, save these changes, and now we can see data loading. Why data loading? Because here we have added a condition that if loader, it means if it is true, then this message will be displayed. Now let's create one more state variable, that is const, let's say users. Its manager will be called set users, let's say use state, and initially it will be an empty array. Now then after here, I will go and use one more hook called use effect, and inside that hook I'll go and call the fetch function to fetch all the data from our API URL. So here let's copy this API URL of users, then here I'll call fetch function. And one more thing, this is not only a single option to call an API. There are multiple options. Either you can use this fetch function or the Axios package, that will be a third-party package what we can install using npm. So here I'll go with this default one, that is inbuilt one called fetch function. And here I will pass, look at IntelliSense, we can pass the URL. So this was our URL. So it is promise based. So then after, let's say then, it will return the response from that API. And here I'll first convert that response into the JSON format. So response.json, and then after it will convert the data. Now after getting that data, what I will do, I will call this set users. let's say set users, and here I will pass that data. Now, after this, one more thing, like after setting all the users to this state variable called users, also we can make this loader as false, because by default it is true. So what we can do, just cut this set users from here. Let's put a parenthesis because we want to add two lines of code here. So set users data, and then it will be set loader, and I will pass the false value. So inside this use effect, what is happening? It is calling an API URL, then converting the JSON data, and those data will be set into this state variable called users, and also this loader will be false. And I want that this hook will run only once on page load. So for that, we need to pass a blank dependency array. After getting the users to this state variable users, let's print into a screen. So I will go here, I'll use curly pairs. So users, I'll use map function. And here, let's go and read each user object. If I go to our API URL, so we can see that this is first object, second object. So I want to read each and every object of this array. So here it will be, let's say, user and then the index of that object. And here, if I put the curly pairs or simply if I put here, let's say UL tag, or instead of using UL, if I say let's li, and here let's say name, and name value I can get from this user each object, and this user will return the value called name. So if I copy this property, so it will be user.name. If I save these changes, it will give an error. So first, let's see our output. So we can see that here we have the users, what we are getting from API. And one more thing, inside this console tab, also we can see an error that is of each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Now these are the users we are getting, and also we have this error. So to resolve that, simply let's go to this li and add a key prop, and here simply pass index. Now if I save these changes, if I go, let's reload, and now we can see the list of users. Also, if we are interested to put something called the username or the email value, it's super simple. Just go here, put email. Email value we can read from each user object dot email property. Now if I save these changes, now if I go here, and now we can see the name value and email value. Let's make the bold to this name and email. So here I will use strong tag, put here for this email as well, and put here. And now you can see name and email. And also let's go and make this user data as h1. If I save that, users data, and it is not coming in h1. Why it is not coming in h1? Okay, if I go and let's by putting inline, let's say style, font size, let's say 20 pixel. If I save that, and now we can see 20 pixel. So the concept was that how to make an API call and list our data. And one more thing, that here if I click on reload, initially you should see here the data loading, like data loading, and it is because that initially when the component mounts, so in that case loader is true, and in that case this message will be displayed. But once this use effect hook will run, it will fetch all the data, and successfully it will also set the loader equals to false. So whenever it sets to false, so in that case this message will be gone and this data will be appear. So successfully, now this is the very easiest topic inside our JavaScript journey, that how to call an API from our application. So for this interesting video, please hit the like button to like this very amazing concept. Subscribe to this channel so that I will be creating so much amazing content for you. And now it's time to meet into our next video. So for this video session, guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.